Say.
Thank you to the Say community and the Say Foundation for making this podcast possible.
Say.
Silence! Enjoy the show with Ashley DK.
Met the blonde broker online.
Yeah.
And then how did you decide you wanted to fight?
Oh, man. So at the beginning of this year, more like April, when we went to Dubai, we went to Karate Combat together. It was the first Karate Combat I ever went to.
Okay.
And, like, I've always been a violent sport fanatic. That's, hockey. Like, the first hockey game I went to, like, the guy's face was pressed on the glass, and I loved it. It's just super
Nice.
into it. So she and I went to the match. We loved it. And then she called me after, and she was like, so they've been trying to get me to fight for a while, and I haven't found, like, a good opponent, and I was wondering if you'd want to do it. And at first I was like, no,
Oh, okay.
that's
So
crazy.
she came to you.
Yeah, she came to me, and she challenged me. And then eventually she convinced me because, one, we were, like, wanting to be in really good shape. Like, both of
Yeah.
us had kind of, gotten out of shape. When you're online, like, 24/7, you just, sit on your ass and, like, eat and, do nothing. So it's, like, felt like a good opportunity for us to both get in shape, and two, we were just legitimately interested to see who would win. So I was like, why not? Like, plus, good pay, and I was like, shit, like, why not?
Have you ever fought anyone before?
No, I've never even gotten, like, the worst fight I ever got in when I was a kid was I used to get beat up in high school because my last name was Wiener, and so
Okay.
like it's just like I was bullied all the time, so I was the one always getting beat up. So it's like it'd be cool to kind of fight and actually, like, fight back instead of getting my ass beat all the time.
Yeah.
So
Beat on some dickheads.
yes, yeah. But I choose to fight my best friend instead of, like, beat up people who deserve it, I guess.
I feel like it's less scary to fight your best friend in a way.
It was because no matter, like, when we went in the pit, we were both, like, very, I wouldn't say, like, scared and more, like, intimidated with the idea, like, we were actually going to be punching each other in the face. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say I would have felt as comfortable with somebody else because, like, when you're fighting, like, there's so much emotion that's involved. But, like, with her, I knew I didn't want to, like with somebody that you dislike or somebody that you don't know in the match, maybe you feel like you want to, like, hurt them more. With her, I wanted to not only put on a good show, but, like, I didn't want to hurt her to the point where she couldn't have her career after that. It's not like I was going in there and, like, I'm going to, just crush her completely, we were all talking all that shit, but, obviously we didn't want to, like, kill each other. We wanted to go in there, fuck each other up, put on a good show. Obviously, we both wanted to win. You know how that turned out. But
It's okay. It's okay.
I feel like
it matters that you did it.
Yeah.
More than the outcome, I think.
They said it
because
was a very close match, so
It was close.
Yeah.
It was very close. I think you might have won even one of the rounds.
I won the first
What-
round. She won the second round. We were supposed to have a third round. There's, like, all kinds of controversy and opinions and why a third round didn't happen. I think she just was, like, better at takedowns, and that's really what won her the match because I had not really been versed in being taken down. Like, I had a little bit towards the end of my training, but I don't really have any. The pit is so different from fighting on, like, the mats when you're sparring, and that curve makes a huge difference. That wall. And I didn't realize how big of a difference it would make because I was kind of practicing in it when they let us in. I was like, oh, I could bounce off this wall. But not only did I have the full weight of her, but then there's no leverage on the bottom of the mat, and trying to push up is such a pain when you're pinned between a person and the mat. And it's just like you're not on the ground. You're literally just wedged, So I'm like, oh, I have no traction. Like, so it didn't hurt to get pinned on the mat, but it just was like, it was more like a pride hurt. Like, damn, I'm on the mat. It sucks.
So, before we dive into the match, how did you train? Like, so you accept the challenge
Yeah.
from the blonde broker. Now what do you do?
So I, the first day that I accepted the match, like I went to train with Ellie and Paisan and Jay Chains and Keith Berry. We went and just like did some fooling around in the gym because at the time I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was like, oh, I know about fighting. Didn't know shit. You always think you know until you actually like start sparring. We went to the gym that I ended up training at, and I talked to the guy that owned the gym, and he was like, yeah, we have this really good trainer. So I got hooked up with my trainer, Gustavo. He was my quarterman for the fight, and we started training like literally that week because I was like super obsessive. I was like, I got to train now. So I did, like he told me the day that I started, like you need to start running. So I started running like 3 miles a day. Was like my first, because he said you need to build a gas tank, because the first session that I ever did was a sparring session for like an hour or two, and I looked like shit. You know, I'm just like sweating, just like tired, just you know, like when you're first training, like I've been sitting in my ass for so long, like I didn't really go to the gym, I didn't really move a lot, you know, so like that was like a very, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm so out of shape, I really need to start running. So I started running. That was really hard. Because like when you go from 0 to like running 3 miles a day, that's like so hard. Like I felt like puking, you know, that was like the first part of it, and getting over like that part of it, like getting in actual shape.
You're just treadmill running right there?
Just lots of treadmill running. And I did sparring too, but it was like light sparring. So like when I went into the gym, we would do like basic training, basic sparring, just very light work. So it's a lot of it was just getting my endurance up, because that's so much of the fight is just endurance. A lot of fighters lose because they lose endurance. Or at least that's what my coach tells me and what I've seen online. So, you know, I was like, I've got to build a gas tank. And once I kind of had more of that, then we started stepping it up, and I started like hard sparring, like actually getting into fights, and I started really liking it. Like I spent, towards the end of my training, I was I was actually sparring for like 3 hours a day on top of running 3 miles a day. So I'd like go to the gym, I'd run 3 miles, do some weightlifting, then, you know, I'd do like my routine, you know, the day, like computer stuff, you know, recording videos, tweeting, you know.
The important stuff.
Yeah, the very important business stuff. And then I would go spar at the gym, and gosh, that was like a lot of fun. It felt very busy though. So like my morning was just basically waking up early, running, doing all my meals. I changed my whole diet. And I would do like walking during the day. Like I would be just trying to kind of always make myself active. If I wasn't like training, I kind of got really obsessed, especially towards the end, of just keeping myself active. Like it was all about burning calories, because before all this, I started like 149, and I was working my way to 145. You know, it was our agreed upon weight, and she had a lot more to go. She started like 180. So we were like I had a few pounds to lose. She had like 30. So it was a lot. So I ended up losing a lot more weight than I thought. Like people don't realize when you're doing this kind of training, you lose weight so quickly. I went from 149 to like 136 pretty quickly, and it was a struggle to have to swing between the 136 to 145, because like my body wanted to go smaller, but I had to gain muscle, and that's a lot harder than you think. You'd think it would be easy to just gain weight, you know, but you can't like just eat food. You gotta like gain muscle, or else you'll just be a sloppy jalopy, you know. You just be gaining the wrong kind of weight. So it was just it was all about like trying to balance like discipline and the right kind of training, and trying to build the muscle, because I had zero muscle. I had like no muscle mass except in my legs. My legs are huge, and that was it.
So you didn't really feel like when you got started that you needed to lose weight?
Not really, not like a lot. You know, I just needed to like shape up, because I was more like flabby. You know, I was like more like my arms were flabby.
Good shape.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, but basically motivated you was the fight. Or
Yeah.
was there anything else?
Well, it was that, and plus I just wanted to be healthy,
Mm-hmm.
because just for my whole life I've been kind of like lazy on that end. You know, I've never really been like the workout sort of type, so it was all about like challenging myself, because, you know, recording videos and like tweeting is so much different than like doing a physical activity, like kind of sport. And I was sick of kind of just doing that. You know, sick of like my whole life I've just been kind of like behind the desk and not really doing anything. Even going to crypto Twitter, like I still was behind a desk really, or behind the screen. So it's like nice to actually like get out there and be physical and like feel powerful, you know?
Have you did that before? Like, did you do any athletics at school or?
I did like gymnastics, ballet. I just mainly did those kind of, like, hockey was the closest, but I broke like
you
part
played
of my
hockey, too?
hand. Yeah, I loved hockey.
Oh,
my
broke
gosh.
your hand punching someone.
Well, not punching someone. It was so stupid. I broke it because somebody on my same team was trying to get the puck, and I was like, I'll pass it to you if you go a little bit above, but they were trying to take it from me because I guess they got our teams confused somehow, and their stick got stuck in between my stick, and it broke this part of my hand.
Oh my God.
And I was like, how do you do that on the same team? But, you know, I was like, maybe I shouldn't play hockey. You know, I don't like to break bones, but, you know, of course
Where are
I
you
fight.
from? Where are you from?
Texas.
And you're playing hockey in Texas?
Yeah, I love hockey. I know,
Is that
not
big
normal.
Is that big out here?
Yeah, it's not really that big out here. I mean, a lot of Dallas Stars fans, they're like diehard, you know, hockey people, but it's like very rare to meet somebody that actually likes it as much as I do. Most people are into basketball or football. Football is a big one, even though our team, like, it's not very good. We still love it. So
Why do you like hockey? Just the violence, or?
It's the violence. It's like, I feel like there's a lot of skill because in hockey you have to skate. You have to skate. You have to actually have like some skill. So it combines a lot of different elements, and I feel like it's a weirdly graceful, violent sport. Like, that's what I love about it, and feels so, like, I don't know, it feels so cool. Like, while you're playing it feels so cool to watch. Like, it just feels different than other sports.
I've never been to a hockey game.
You should go. It's so, especially sitting close, and if you go to some of the more violent ones, like if you look up, like, there's certain teams that are more violent than others. Like, those are the best. Like,
The
especially
enforcer.
if you're, like, it's just fun. It's just because there's like a little drama, you know. So it can be like a little dramatic when some people like get in fights.
Have you
with
ever
other
seen
people.
the fights where they're just on skates, just punching each other? There's like no hockey.
I have seen like people beat the crap. I can't even remember which game it was, but I saw somebody like beat the crap out of the other person, like just like blood right there.
Oh my God.
I was like, this is my shit.
This is your shit. No, I meant there's online now. There's a league. It's like ice fights or something.
I've never heard of that.
They're on skates.
What?
And they're just there's
that's
just,
like getting rid of the hockey
exactly,
element.
Just go right to the.
I mean, I don't hate that. I would just hate to be like. I imagine there's some kind of blade work that might, and that just sounds like scary.
Blade work.
Yeah, like when you're
Some
on
serious
ice skates, like maybe in the fight, you know, you lift up your leg and the
Oh yeah, that happened to
slice.
someone.
That's scary.
I saw a clip of that.
That's so
That
scary.
they died like that.
That's
yeah.
like the scariest
good.
thing to me. Is like.
It's a little scary, yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a movie. I can't even remember what movie it is now, where somebody was like doing an ice skating trick and they accidentally cut somebody on their way in. That's like, I'm like, that's terrifying.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I was a kid. We did a lot of ice skating when I was a kid. I grew up in
Yeah.
California.
You still think about it when you're on the ice, but then when you see a movie like that, you're like,
No, I would think
traumatized.
about it. I was like,
Oh,
I have
really?
these blades on. Like, how sharp are these knives on my feet? Like, I'm like,
Like, if you fall, you're like, oh God, I can't.
yeah, I don't want to slice anything.
Yeah. It seems so dangerous to do.
So how far out from the blonde broker? Like, how far out did you agree to the fight?
Gosh, it was like, I think we officially agreed in May. So whenever
May,
Bitcoin
September.
Nashville is when we officially signed the documents, which I
So it was
think
like,
was it May? I don't know. It was the same week as Bitcoin Nashville, and we were at the Cardi Combat in Nashville, and we were talking about it with a lot of different people, taking pictures. Or no, was it? No, it was Austin. It was Austin.
Austin.
Yeah. So the Nashville is when we were doing like more talking about our fight, but the consensus is when we
agreed
to it. I got the dates confused, but
okay, so that's like 4 months before you fought in September.
Yeah, we didn't really have that much time to train, which I feel like that's a lot of time considering that we were both new. But
that's a good amount of time.
Yeah,
that's a good amount of time. So you talked about this, like, how long did it take until it got fun?
Oh gosh, I think that it took maybe a month or two for me to not feel like I was just like getting beaten down.
A month or two. So you're already halfway. You're already almost halfway there.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because there were so many injuries that came.
Yeah.
Like after the first month, I started actually sparring against other people. And there were people there was a guy there that had 9 years of experience. I had no idea, and these people are so incredibly talented. It's at the Black Sheep Boxing, super close to here. And this guy, he's got 9 years of experience. Me and him were sparring, and he's strong as hell. So I had no idea how strong he was. I don't even think he realized how strong he was. And so we were sparring, and he was trying to sweep me, and I was trying to sweep him back, but he was much quicker. And I didn't realize how quick he was. And when he swept me, I fell on my knee. Just didn't fall right.
He just kicked your leg?
Yeah, he swept, and very gentle for him, but it was a lot for me because I'm not used to, I've never been put on my ass before like that. And I fell wrong, and I fell on my right knee, and I thought I broke it. Because it swole up. I couldn't walk on it. And I was like calling my coach. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I agreed to this fight, and now my knee is messed up. So yeah, I was off of it for like a week and a half, and then I was back, and it was still kind of hurting, but it was fine. And then I would just keep getting injuries. Like, that's what happens when you're sparring. Like, it's fun, but also like right before the fight, there was two big injuries that I had that was very worrying for me. One is I accidentally got elbowed in the face, like right there. It was on a big sparring day. Like, it was on a there's like the difference between light sparring and heavy sparring is like one is like preparation for a fight, so it happens closer to your fight day, and then light sparring is like the beginning of it. So it was one of my heavy sparring days, and I was like fighting like 5 different people, 2-minute rounds each. And the one guy that I fought, he was like 2 feet taller than me, it felt like. I mean, he's probably not that tall because it's like 7 feet, but he was super tall dude, and he's used to throwing elbows because in Muay Thai you throw elbows. Karate combat, you don't for IFC fighters. And so he threw an instinctive elbow, and I really don't think he meant to, but he just got me right there, and I started bleeding just everywhere. My face looked pretty disgusting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got like a bruise right there. Thought I broke my nose for a second.
You didn't break your nose?
Didn't break my nose.
Just cut?
But I got this weird, I don't know what happened to my nose, but maybe like, I don't know what happened, but it just kept bleeding for like 2 weeks, like
2
on and
weeks
off.
of bleeding.
Just constant blood coming out, and like I couldn't breathe, and at night I'd have to breathe with my mouth open, just like, there were so many injuries. And then right before I got to Singapore, the week before Singapore, I'd healed up from like multiple injuries. I had a pinky injury, I had a toe injury. I just kept getting them, but I kept going. And then as I'm about to go to the airport for Singapore from Thailand, which that was a whole experience in itself, I fell down 2 flights of stairs. And that had nothing to do with training. That just had to do with it raining. And it was, so I had this giant bruise on my leg. And I was like, damn. Like, I swear to God, everything leading up to the fight, I'm just getting injured after injury.
In the hotel? Where did you fall down the stairs?
It was, we were at the Solana Girls Villa.
The Solana Girls Villa?
Yeah, the Solana. And none of them knew it happened because it happened after I left their villa. But I was on the way down to where our villa was to go get ready for the airport. And it was raining. And I literally just go, whoop, like all the way down. And just fall on my leg. God. And luckily I didn't break anything, but it was like I had a bruise so big, it was as big as my hand, like going like this, and it was a deep purple.
Oh my God.
It was so brutal. And I was like, damn, like I've never been more injured in my life. Like every single day it was like a new injury, or I was recovering from an injury. So it was like fun, but it was also very painful. It's like a lot of pain leading up to that fight.
Did you want to quit at any point?
I think the closest I got was when I got my knee messed up. And I literally couldn't walk. Like I was literally like in pain, and then my coach was like, you really need to train. And I was like, my knee is messed up. And he's like, but there's a difference. Like there's a big difference between being in pain and an injury. An injury is if you can't put any pressure on it. Pain is if you, and I was sitting here like, it feels like an injury. So, I go in there and my knee's still hurting, and I'm still training on this knee, and I'm sitting here like, I don't think I'm made for this. And then I get through it and it's fine. But God, like,
was he right?
He was right. I hated that he was, but he was. He was
Did it just
right.
like kind of go away?
Yeah, eventually, like, I had to work it out. So, like, a lot of fighters, they have these injuries that are consistent. Like, I found this out recently from some of the people that I was sparring in my gym, and also, like, other fighters have told me, and what I've seen online is that some fighters are constantly in a state of injury, and they just live with it, and they're just moving on to the next fight. Like me, I'm taking a little break because I wanted to take a break during the holidays to see my family, because it's just a very hard training schedule to keep, like hours and hours a day. So I was like, I'll give myself a little break and come back next year. But some people that are constantly fighting, like the fighters that are actually like professional for karate combat, they're just constantly in pain. Like one of them was telling me, like, literally every single day they wake up in pain and they have to get in like a cold plunge, or like they have to do some therapy. I'm like, oh God, they're like so built different. Like I thought I was tough as shit for doing that, but like they're really tough. Like they are literally built different. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's inspiring also to see them. Like, that's also part of what I also felt very out of shape, overweight. I kind of decided I wanted to make a change before I got involved with karate combat, but karate combat really gave me, like, a direction. I did, like, martial arts when I was a kid, but I never took it seriously, you know what I mean? But then when I saw the fighters and they're like, oh, man, these are guys that are in such good shape. I can be like that, too, you know? Like, I don't have to be a schlub.
That's yeah. No, I mean it's so inspiring, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing you after not seeing you for like a long time at a karate combat. It was either Tennessee or I can't remember which one, but I was like, damn, you were in like great shape right now. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. It's truly changing lives. Yeah,
and you and the blonde broker, you guys did an amazing job, and she, like you said, she lost like 30 pounds, which is fantastic.
Yeah, she did. She and I would actually call each other every day, keep each other accountable. What'd you eat today? What'd you do? Did you work out? Did you run?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We really wanted to. We wanted to be the best we could for each other when we got there. We really, like, our whole thing was like, no matter who wins, we want to put on a hell of a show. Like, we want everybody to go to our fight and be like, that was one of the best fights I've ever seen. Because we were, like, all about it. We were like, we're going to be in badass shape. We're going to kick the shit out of each other. And we're going to go have fun in Japan. And that's exactly what we did. Exactly what we did. That's what it feels like. So
that's really interesting. I don't think a lot of guys would have that kind of, like, relationship leading up to a fight like that. That's interesting. Especially,
it's probably weird.
I mean, it makes sense because, like, you're doing something together. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not against each other. You're trying to do something as a team, right? Because
exactly,
you didn't get into this just to fight, right?
Yeah, we both wanted to have a career after this in karate combat and IFC, and like that was kind of our goal. Like, we're gonna help each other through this, and this fight is gonna get us to the next one and the next one and other stuff that we want to do, because we do everything together. We did crypto Twitter together. We've done trades together. We've done NFT collections, like just buying and selling the same stupid shit. So why not do this together? And then eventually we're gonna do a podcast together. So I think, I don't know, we just love each other. And even though we beat the shit out of each other, it's still, we love keeping each other accountable for this, because, like, it's just a fun thing to do. I think a lot of people I think a lot of people, especially if you take it seriously, that they would have a lot of love for this sport.
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love for sure.
So you trained here, and then at what point do you go to Thailand?
So I went to, the story behind Thailand is so funny because it's so bad. So I was set to go to Thailand from September 6th to leading up to the fight of the 15th. Okay. So like for like 9 days. I was supposed to go to Thailand and do part of the Solana Girls Villa and actually train at a Muay Thai gym.
Right.
So then what ends up happening is the day that I leave for the flight, our flight gets delayed by 30 minutes. And it was like a flight from Austin to Dallas. Very easy flight, right? And it was like a crew issue or something, and they were like, oh, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. So what ends up happening is when we land in Dallas finally, our other flights are delayed. All of them. From Dallas to Qatar, from Qatar to Thailand. So we're like, how did that happen? And apparently it was like a big chain of events. So we have to not only stay the night in Dallas, which is so stupid, because we could have just drove to Dallas and got a new flight. It would have been way easier. So we had to fly to Dallas, 45-minute flight, and spend the night in Dallas. And then the next day we were supposed to go to, we ended up getting rerouted to Japan. So it was just we had to switch airlines. It was like a whole big mess. And we were like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, we had to stay at this crappy hotel in Dallas. And we were super mad. We were like, okay, this is fine. We're only a day behind. It'll be okay, right? Mm-hmm. Next day, we go from Dallas to Japan. Halfway through the flight, not more than halfway through, 7 hours into the flight, almost to Japan, right? This guy starts throwing up like crazy in the middle of the plane. Just projectile vomiting, just sick stuff.
Oh my God.
Like just the nastiest stuff. Like everybody is panicking.
Are you close to this guy?
I'm not close, but I can hear it.
Oh
and everybody, there's like people rushing in the back, and we're like, what the hell is going on? Like, and then they make an announcement. We actually have to reroute the plane and land in Alaska. Alaska. So we had to drive 3 hours, or fly 3 hours the opposite way from Japan to Alaska on this plane full of people. And me and Ike are like, my husband and I were like, we don't have our stuff. We haven't seen our bags in like 2 days at this point. We're like, are you serious? Like, this is all because of a 30-minute delay in Austin. Like, that's what started this whole thing. So we have to stay the night in Alaska. And I was
Anchorage?
like, yeah, in Anchorage. And I was sitting here like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So then we were supposed to fly out the next morning at 10 a.m. The flight gets delayed again, which delays
What is going on at this?
I was sitting here like, am I being punked? So like, this is crazy.
What the heck?
And this is like day 3 at this point. It's like September 9th.
What is happening though? Like, you just random?
Bad luck. Really
it's
bad
just
luck.
Random?
Just very bad luck, I guess.
Okay.
So it's the next day, 10 a.m. Flight gets delayed to 6 p.m. that night. And we were like, all the people on that flight were like, what the fuck is going on? And then we found out later, mid through the day, that Alaska doesn't have flights direct from Alaska to Japan or any Asian, airports. So they were trying to take us back to Dallas. And the entire flight, we all protested. We were like, we are not going back to Dallas, because that would put us even more time behind. So
I've never heard anything like, okay.
Yeah, crazy. So they eventually end up approving us getting taken from Alaska to Japan.
Did you sign a petition? How did they?
Well, we were all at the airport. There was nowhere else to go. Anchorage is such a small town. There was like nothing to do, nowhere to go. So we're all like just in limbo at this point.
Oh my God.
So it's just, we were like, what the fuck is happening? So then we take off from our flight, and then just before we took off, I found out that since our Alaska flight was delayed, it delayed our Japan flight to Thailand. So when we land in Japan, we have to stay the night again before we get taken to Thailand. So it's on day 4 at this point, and me and my husband are like, still haven't seen our stuff, have not showered properly, have not changed. We're sitting here like just disgusting at this point, like just, and I have to train in the airport at this point. I have to work out in the airport. I have to like do like pacing and like jumping jacks and push-ups and sparring in the airport.
I did jump rope in the airport. That's fine.
Yeah, people thought it was entertaining. So, and then Japan happens. They get us Japan. They don't like people they don't like layovers. I guess they don't like people staying.
They don't like the concept, or
they don't like people staying in the country for longer than you're supposed to. So we originally had a flight later that day, like 8 hours, and they were like, "No, we're gonna make it they
right
bumped
now.
us up," and we were like, "Hell yeah!"
Okay.
So we got to Thailand.
So good luck there at the end.
Yeah, good luck, because Japan just knows, that we're sick. I feel like they do. So we get to Thailand finally, and it's totally ruined. Like the appointments that I scheduled for the Muay Thai training, couldn't go to any of them. And then the last day they were like, well, since you canceled the other days, we didn't schedule it for you. So I got no Muay Thai training in Bangkok. I was like, because that's the whole reason why I went there. Oh my God. That's the whole reason why I scheduled those flights. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Okay.
5 days in, I could have had 5 days extra of training, but
Wow.
So then we go to the Solana Girls Villa, and I at least get Muay Thai training there. They hired so we actually this.
What is the Solana Girl?
Solana Girls Villa.
All I know.
I'm surprised you don't know more about that. They roasted the crap out of the girls there.
All I know is the Bangers NFT video.
Yep.
It went super viral. Her running through.
I saw her do that, and she is a trooper. I could not believe it. I don't know how she did any of that. I was just chilling on the couch.
Yeah.
Her recording me in there was just me. I was just sitting there.
Yeah, no, it just seemed like everyone was just doing their own thing.
Yeah, we were literally, I was watching her what the fuck is she doing? She's just sitting here jumping around. She was just sporadic. And I was like, this girl's an athlete. She literally, there was
She's got to fight next.
She should. I could not believe there was a 3-foot jump between the couch and the other side of the concrete to the pool, and she made it look flawless. She literally just goes, whoop.
Wow.
And the same stairs that I fell down, she actually went down super fast, and I was so impressed. I was like, I swear to God, she's so built different. I could not believe it. She's incredible. So, but there was a lot of different stuff happening there. There was a TV show being filmed there.
Oh, what's going on with the TV show?
It's like a
reality. It was supposed to be Real Housewives of Solana.
Yeah, Real Housewives of Solana. So that's the main show, and it's almost kind of reminds me of a Big Brother house, but it's with Solana girls.
Okay.
And so I was briefly in it for a millisecond.
Is that out?
Not yet. It's just gonna be Twitter exclusive, or X exclusive now. I can't name it anymore.
That's fine.
But yeah, so they did that. There was some skits done there.
Okay.
I did a couple things, so I didn't really do much though, because I don't know. I'm really bad at recording stuff when I'm traveling, so it just gets it's a lot. But yeah, so I did some Muay Thai with them. Part of the show, they actually recorded some of us going to the Muay Thai gym and training Muay Thai, and it was so funny to see some of the people that don't train Muay Thai training Muay Thai. It's such. And especially in a gym that has no AC, it's literally just in the middle of the jungle, and it's real Muay Thai fighters. They're tough as shit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So tell me more about this. So it's as part of a bigger event, or it was just how many people were at the?
So there's 10 Solana housewife, women, and then there
but
was
at the house.
Oh, there's a lot more people there. There's cast, the actual cast, and then there was crew of cameramen, and there was me and my husband. We were just we were in.
So it's a show.
Yeah, that was just the show.
But the Solana, I'm just confused.
So there's a villa that was bought by this guy that got really rich off Solana.
Okay.
And so it's a Solana themed villa. It's literally called the Solana Villa in Thailand.
Okay. All right.
So they rented that, Amy and.
So it's on Airbnb. Or something.
Yeah, I think it's on Airbnb, and then you can book it on their website. So it's actually a place that you can book.
Right. Okay.
So it's like
And you can pay with Solana.
Yeah, probably. I didn't pay for it, but I'm sure you can.
So they booked it, and they're like, we're gonna film a show here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. They brought you for the show.
Yeah, they literally were like, "Hey, do you want to film this real quick scene, a couple scenes?" I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
So there's 10 of you.
Yeah, well, I'm technically not one of the housewives. I'm just a special
friend
guest.
of.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little tag along. So,
Okay, but
yeah.
this is like one episode, or this is like a season, or
it's like a whole season. So like
Okay.
they record probably, I think they recorded maybe 7 or 8 episodes or
Okay.
something, and they were all at different places. So some are at the villa. They did like some activities, other places. I can't leak too much, I guess. I also don't know just legitimately everything that they did. I just know I was in a few scenes, you know, not really doing too much, you know, just like talking about my fight. And then, but they were like, there was like a whole bunch of people involved. It was like a legitimate production.
Yeah,
it was actually
who put this together?
So Amy Street and Mel T put it together.
Okay.
They're like big, you know, on Solana. And then, you know, there's a bunch of girls like, you know,
Great.
I don't know if you know Isle Rose, Bangers, Beck, you know, Tiffany, you know, from Solana or from Magic Eden was there. There was like a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that you probably recognize that were there just filming and recording like a bunch of fun stuff. I mean, so it just kind of, I think there's just not a lot of stuff like that out there. Like it's more like vlog type stuff, which I like. I'm a big vlog person, but I don't think there's like a TV show, and so I think they just wanted to put on like that kind of, because the Real Housewives anything is so silly and so funny, so like everybody loves watching that stuff. I don't know how crypto Twitter is gonna like it, but we'll see.
When's it coming out?
I'd guess in like the next couple months, you know, once they're done editing, because I think they're still recording like a few things.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah,
more
like
episodes.
they did the Thailand, and then they went to do like some Breakpoint stuff, because it's like a Solana based thing, and Breakpoint was in Singapore. And then I think there might be some other wrap ups that they're doing, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, since I'm not one of the main people, I don't really know, but I know they.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, there's some spicy things I've heard. So.
Okay, some juicy bits, highlights.
Juicy drama. So.
Okay, my wife loves the Housewives, and she's wanted to do like
she would love it.
She'll watch it for sure. Watch it for sure. Okay, so tell me about the gym there. You said it's in the forest. Like, what's the
It was cool. Like, I've never seen a Muay Thai gym that's in the jungle. Like, obviously, I've only seen a gym that's like air conditioned in Austin, but so it's just like it's just like open.
Yeah.
You know, like it literally looks like you.
Is it a tent?
No, it's not a tent. It's like an actual building, like a building.
Oh, it's a structure that has over the roof, but it's just open walls?
Yeah, it's open walls. There's just a bunch of bags there. There's like an actual like mat, you know, floor, so you're not, you know, just training on like concrete or anything. But, you know, all the fighters, they're legitimate fighters in, you know, Thailand. The island that we went to is Koh Samui. And so like it's just people that do it, like they live and breathe Muay Thai. In Thailand, Muay Thai is so popular. Fighting is just so popular. No matter where you go, like you'll see advertisements for, you know, Muay Thai fights or like Muay Thai training. You'll see people driving, like talking about it, like on their speaker. Like it's crazy. It's like a huge thing. So there's a bunch of those gyms everywhere. So they're like, they live and breathe, and it's pretty cool. Like so I'm thinking about going back to Thailand, actually training at one of those gyms, because there's such a weird, it feels like, advantage to training outside, because training inside, like, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I'm sure you've, you know, done martial arts, so you know, there's just so much of an advantage to do it outside. Like I did garage sessions with my trainer versus gym sessions, and I felt like I did better at those garage sessions. It's like, it almost feels like it activates a different part of your body, because you have to keep yourself like cool, I guess, and you have to like I don't know, it's more primal, it feels like. Maybe that's why. You know?
It definitely feels good to exercise outside. It definitely feels different.
Yeah.
I definitely get that. And I mean, we're meant to be outside, right?
Yes.
Not meant to be. Who fights in an air-conditioned room, right?
Exactly.
Like you're fighting on the street over here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be really cool to do that. That sounds amazing. Maybe take a boat though.
Yeah.
It'll be a little
Oh
faster.
my God, yeah. Oh, I'm scared to fly to Thailand. I'm like, that's my cursed place now.
So you fly to Singapore. Mm-hmm. How's it feel to get to Singapore?
That felt pretty good because everything went fine. All those flights went fine. And because we had to go Koh Samui to Bangkok to Singapore. And we get there, and it's just, Singapore is so pretty. It's just it's so different. It feels like, it's kind of funny, though, because it's so illegal to do so many things that you don't really see people, like, you know, doing crazy things outside. Like, nobody's super loud, and, you know, it's very, like...
I think it's illegal to be loud.
Yeah, it's illegal to be loud. It's illegal to chew gum. It's illegal to cross the street at the wrong time. So everybody's, like, you know, on their toes and everything. Yeah. But it's such a pretty place, and there's so many...
Prettier than Thailand?
Well, it's a different kind of pretty. So Thailand is more like just like nature. It's just kind of a spectacle. When you get to Bangkok, it's like crazy because the malls are insane. And it's just a totally different kind of beauty. Singapore feels so much more polished. You know, like everything about their society is so polished. Like from their things that they have to do to the city itself. Like the whole reason that it's just Singapore and not like cities of Singapore or country of Singapore is because they don't want any they want everything to be the same. Like they don't want different parts or regions or whatever. They're just all about it just being Singapore. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, you were in Singapore, so you kind of know what I'm talking about.
It's very uniform, very clean.
A lot of people say it's good to raise a family there, but not good to have fun there. Like if you're looking to have like a crazy good time, then you're not gonna have fun.
Although,
I did.
I think there's underground places you
Yeah.
could go.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. They said vaping is illegal, and I was like, I know for sure that I saw so many vape pens, and they're not just like they're not just like regular vape pens. They're like, you know, special vape pens. So, you know, they snuck some things in there, but. You know,
special vape pens.
Yeah, special vape pens, if you know what I mean.
The DMT vape pens.
Yeah, well, so that and you know, I saw a lot of people with weed vape pens. You know,
did,
and I was like, that's
really sus.
Yeah, I'm like on the flight here on the speaker to our like on the plane, they were like, if you're caught trafficking drugs, you can be killed, like literally die. And I was like, why the fuck are people sneaking this in? Like, if somebody was saying I could die, like, it's not worth it. Like, I mean, I like getting high, but, like, not that much. Like,
yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Imagine the paranoia.
Yeah, I would literally just not even be able to enjoy it. I would just try to be getting rid of it the whole time. So, but people, I mean, they were very easy in customs. I thought they were going to be like...
That's what I was just going to say, that the airport security is...
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just...
Like, I could have brought anything in there. They literally, I scan my passport and leave, and then nobody says anything. I'm like, they freaked me out because, like, when I first got there, I was, like, having a panic attack. And I'm like, they're going to check all my stuff. If I have one little piece of gum in there that I forgot about, I'm going to get arrested. And
you could bring gum in, though, I think.
No, you can't. Like, you get fined.
You can't, you can't chew it.
But you can't bring it in either. You get fined for trafficking gum. It's crazy.
The gum dealer.
Yeah, imagine going to jail for bringing gum here.
So you're in Singapore. Fight's coming up. How you feeling?
You know, I was feeling pretty good.
Okay.
You know, despite everything, like I still had that big old bruise from the fall that was super fresh. So I was trying to cover it because, like, I saw Aaron there. And we were staying at the same hotel as all the other karate combat fighters. So we're all at the same hotel chilling. She doesn't notice the bruise. And I'm like, we're best friends and everything. But, like, you know, I was like, she sees that. She knows that there's going to be a weak point. She can kick me.
You're already gaming here.
Yeah,
you're gaming.
Like, I gotta
we're
hide
friends, but we're not that close.
I'm like, we love each other, but hey, you know, we're going to fuck each other up. It's okay. So we had breakfast together every morning. I was trying to train at night because our fight was supposed to be super late in the day. So I was like, I got to stay up and train myself to be awake because I usually go to bed so early. I'm like 11 p.m. and I'm like, asleep, you know, unlike the rest of, you know, the degenerates that we're around. Like, I actually go to bed at a normal time, sleep 8 hours, but in Singapore, I was like, I gotta stay up till 2 a.m. I don't know when my fight is gonna be. Like, they said anywhere from like 11 p.m. to 3, and I'm like,
Whoa,
that sounds terrible. Like,
I don't think it was that late, was it?
no, it was like 11:30.
Yeah.
You know, when our fight happened.
You were near the end.
But the venue was trying to kick us out. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, they were like being super upset about it. I honestly think that's why the third round didn't happen, because everybody was chanting for round 3 after the fight.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, that's what other people said. I don't know,
Wow.
because I know that she had more points than me, so she was a very clear winner. But a lot of people were saying like they did third round for every fight, even when there was not when there was a clear winner. So there was like a lot of people are like, I wonder why they didn't do it, and there's a lot of rumors spreading, but there's no way to know. All I know is that I lost, you know. But leading up to the fight, you know, I was like, I had a lot of confidence. I had a lot of, like, I was training in the gym at the hotel at night. My trainer was there at the same hotel, so I got to, you know, it was funny to both of our trainers were there, so we were having breakfast, and her trainer and my trainers there were all like, you know, hanging out and stuff. I really like her trainer, James Vick. Yeah, he's a super super nice guy.
Karate combat fighter.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool to be able to see that side of the fighters. Like, I never talked to like a pro fighter, and I got a chance to talk to them. They were like, you're really lucky for fighting your first fight and not even training 6 months. Like, some people wait their whole life for this, and you're like getting it so easily. And I didn't realize, like, when I got there, I realized how lucky me and Aaron were for being able to fight at such a big, high level. You know, our first fight at the Marina Bay Sands Arena in Singapore. Our first fight, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, weird. Like, you know, it just didn't feel real, because I would see advertisements. And
I think you earned it, though. You earned it in other ways.
Yeah. I mean, I spent a few years doing some crazy things on Twitter /X, you know, made a little bit of noise, so...
I want to get into that, but let's finish up with the fight. So how are you feeling? Like, you're walking out. Mm-hmm. It's dark. Oh, I'm calling your name.
Yeah. You know, I felt something take over me.
Uh-huh.
So before I got up, I was kind of like sparring a little bit, and then they called me, and I was kind of like expecting them to call me at a different time, but they called me at that time to kind of wait by the door. And as I'm waiting, like, the adrenaline is just taking over, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to save it for the ring, but I'm like already feeling it.
Yeah. And
then as soon as you call my name, I come out and I see people that I know cheering my name. All of a sudden it's just like I'm just like an animal. I was like,
you got a lot of cheers.
Yeah.
You got a lot of cheers.
I've never heard so many people cheer my name in my life. I was sitting here like, oh my God, I feel so aggressive right now. I'm gonna shit out of, like, I was feeling good, you know. I was feeling like
you're hyped.
Yeah, feeling like myself, like, just, and I was ready to get aggressive, you know, like, because a lot of people, there was a lot of doubts between her and I, even leading up to the fight, because they would see us have breakfast together, and they'd see us hanging out the entire time we were in Singapore. We were always hanging out, and they were like, yeah, y'all aren't gonna actually fight. Y'all are too close, you know, blah blah blah. And we were both like, no, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other. So when I came out, I was ready. And then when I saw her, me and her saw each other, every time we had a face off, we had trouble keeping from smiling. Like, that was our biggest problem. It's like, we even practiced. We were like, oh God, we're going to, like, laugh or something stupid. Like, in the ring, there was nothing like that. When we got in the pit, nothing. It's like we both said that there was something that took over, and we did not, like, it was an out-of-body experience. Like, I felt, like, more aggressive than I've ever felt in my whole life right in that moment. It was crazy. So I felt kind of good, you know, like, I don't know. I felt like an animal. I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
So it was nice to feel like, I don't know, it felt almost like, I guess I was the closest to feeling like a celebrity in that moment too. Like, you know, I'm not gonna like say I'm a celebrity, because I'm not at all, but like coming out and people are like cheering for you and you hear your name like being chanted, it's just like God, if that happened with a much bigger crowd, I probably would have passed out. But, you know, the crowd was enough, and it was all my friends, and my husband's right there, and my coach is right there, and my friends, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is like the pinnacle of my career right now. Like, this is the best I've ever felt in my life, like, physically, mentally, like, it just, I don't know. It was like everything that I had been working towards was at its peak at that moment.
Wow. Powerful.
Yeah, it's crazy. So.
And you want to do it again?
Yeah. I feel like I learned a lot when you actually fight and like go through that. You realize that you have certain weaknesses, and like instead of being mad at yourself for like, I wasn't mad when I lost, like, because I felt like after the second takedown, especially, I was like, damn, I know she won after that, because I just couldn't get up, you know. But I learned so much about myself, like, that I could actually like do more than what I thought I could, because I was scared of a few things, you know. Like, the biggest fear that I had was her taking me down, which happened. So, and that's why I didn't really throw any kicks at all. And when we did throw a kick, like, she threw a couple kicks and then I threw a kick, we kicked at the same time, we checked each other basically, and I was like, okay, like, I feel like if I keep going, then I'm gonna lose my balance, she's gonna take me down. So I was really focusing on boxing, and I didn't realize how much I liked boxing. You know, even before the fight, I trained more on kicks than I did boxing, but I was heavy boxing, and I didn't realize how hard I can punch. Like, me and her, when we went backstage after the fight, we both had the same injuries, like big black eyes and like messed up noses. We both knocked each other's contact out the first round.
Oh, you fight with contact?
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh
Never
my
fight.
God.
Bad idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
That's so dangerous.
Oh, well, I honestly didn't realize. Nobody had told me that not to do that. And so, because I have really bad, I'm like legally blind basically. Like,
could you fight without the?
Oh, what I couldn't.
Well, you did fight without it.
Yeah,
because it got knocked out.
So like my right eye is like super. The retina's damaged on it.
Okay.
It's like happened when I was a kid. So it's like, it's just so bad. It's like old lady sight basically. And this left eye is not so bad. So my right eye contact got taken out, so I could barely see anything round two. So, I mean, close up I could see it, like, whenever we got close to each other. But, like, going far away, it's, oof.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very,
oh, my God.
Yeah, so her and I were both, because the same thing happened to her, and so we were both, like, basically fighting blind. So if you notice, like, the second round we're not fighting the same way, it's because we both can't see shit.
Oh my God.
We're both blind as hell. Like, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other, but you can't see your face, and you can't see where you're punching.
You sparred with the contacts?
Yeah, I did. Well, the problem is though, it's like every time I got punched, it's like my freaking contact would come out.
In sparring?
Yeah, that was my biggest problem, is that I started having to spar without them.
You have to do without.
Or I would bring a bunch of cleaning solutions, so whenever I did get it knocked out, if I caught it in time, then I could put it in cleaning solution and try to use it. But
my God.
Once it falls on the ground and the mat, I'm not sure.
No. You got to fight without it.
Yeah.
You
I
got to fight without it.
Yeah, it ends up like being something you overcome. So now I'm like, I almost want to get LASIK for my next fight. That would be so much better. You know?
Yeah, that's
like, because contacts, like fighting with contacts, you might as well
just. Is LASIK gonna help though?
It can. It just depends, you know. So
I think you just go in there with bad vision.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so bad. My vision is terrible. So, but
have you heard of Michael Bisping?
No. Is he a bad vision fighter?
He was the I believe middleweight UFC champion. Mm-hmm. He lost he lost vision in one of his eyes during a fight. Oh. But he basically he became the champion. He defended his championship with one eye. He would lie to the medical examiner and be like, "Oh yeah, I see just fine," because if they knew that he didn't have that vision in his eye, they wouldn't let him fight.
That's hard, because I thought I was doing.
Yeah.
I thought it was hard for like blurry vision.
Yeah.
But I can imagine nothing.
Yeah, well, maybe it's like very bad in one eye, like it's gone, like someone kicked him in the eye, basically, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not hard to do because
Yeah.
like whenever she punched me in the right eye and I got the bruise, like in the moment it didn't really hurt. Like it hurts, but you don't.
Yeah, you don't. The adrenaline covers a lot of it.
Yeah, and then whenever like, because I didn't feel any. Because one thing that James Vick, her coach, said was that I was just taking hits really well. Like, I was just absorbing them. And that was because in the moment, I didn't really feel anything.
Yeah.
But then after, I was like, oh, my God, my face hurts so bad. So it's just funny how that works. I think she felt the same way because she got punched. We both punched each other in the same eye and did the exact same thing. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, wow. Good for you for doing that. Not a lot of people would.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people
Maybe
would
next
have the
time,
guts.
no contacts.
No, I think you got to start sparring, no contacts. Just get used to. You got to work on pure instinct and shapes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Training without my contacts is probably the move. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's hard to do it without it.
I trained jiu-jitsu with Marco in Miami, and
Oh, nice.
he's like, he always takes his glasses off, so he's
I can,
partially blind, I guess. I don't know.
glasses in the ring would be like
No, obviously.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
So, yeah. So you had the fight, and then you head to Japan.
Yep. Then we go to Japan for like a vacation. A
Okay.
bit. So that because she came with me, so she got there before. Because I had to stay in Singapore for Solana Breakpoint because I was doing some,
Right.
coverage for them. After we went to Japan,
How
we
was the
just,
Breakpoint?
Oh, it was great. I love Breakpoint. It's probably one of my favorite conferences because
Oh, really?
it's just so well done. There's like I'm a big food person, so like
Okay.
there's free food, and I'm like I love it already. I'm in. But they have like everything, like coffee, food, and then they have all this merch, like cool merch everywhere. And
Give me
they
some
have
food highlights. Give me some food. What was the?
they had like Chinese food. They had
Okay.
like roasted chicken. Like they had somebody carving it.
Oh wow, nice.
They had like all kinds of special pastas.
This is at the Marina Bay Sands.
It was at the convention center. So
Okay.
And I mean, there was like, I have a video of me just walking because there's so many different types of food that they're
Oh, wow.
serving. Like just every single kind of food that you like, American, like Chinese, like Japanese.
So
like
Breakpoint
everything.
is just completely catered.
It's catered. Everything is catered.
How many people were there?
Gosh, thousands
Wow,
and
and
thousands.
just food for all. Wow.
Literally, and there's bars.
How much does
there's
a ticket?
coffee.
Must be expensive.
I don't know, cause I'm a
You're
I'm a creator, so I get one for free.
Oh
But,
wow.
But I
Look at
think they're
you.
like $900 for like VIP
that's a lot
or
of money.
something. But honestly, I think it's one of the few that's worth it because you literally have so much access to everything.
Yeah, just
like-
9 soul.
Yeah,
You ate
I mean,
that into a shitcoin this
yeah,
morning. Come on.
Exactly. If you can spend, I mean, it not only can you have some of the, like I've gotten jobs at Solana Breakpoint. Like one of my very first Solana like jobs I got while at Breakpoint, and so I've gotten so much good business from going.
Really?
Not just business from like jobs that I get or like content that I'm making for people, but also just meeting people that I really genuinely enjoyed. Like we went to Solana Breakpoint last year in Amsterdam. It was the first conference my husband ever went to.
Okay.
Got him sold on crypto. He comes with me to every conference now. He's addicted. And so that's why I also have a lot of love for Breakpoint, because it onboarded my husband finally after years of me being like, look at what I'm doing. Like, it's really cool. I promise. Like, it's not. The problem is when I first got into crypto, being a lot of people are like, oh, it's not different for women than it is men. And it was in 2021, very, very different. Not so much now. I feel like it's a lot better now. But at the time, it was like when you first post your face as a woman in crypto, it becomes like just kind of a lot of DMs, a lot of dick pic DMs. and I had to have him go through my DMs because
God.
I couldn't tell the difference between what was a dick pic and what was not going to be.
And what was a business opportunity?
Yeah, I was like, I'm having a filter. I'm like, I'm so sick of seeing penises, on my DMs. And that was his first, go around in it. And like,
well, why did you post your face?
Well, originally I got into crypto because I was a real estate agent, and I wanted to do crypto related transactions with real estate. And when I first started my account, I had bought Doge back in 2018, and then in fast forward to 2021, it goes over a penny, and I had bought it like so low, like crazy low. So, I was like starting to get a lot of traction on my account just for posting random memes. And I had a cartoon of myself at the time, didn't have my real face. And, I was just kind of like posting a lot, having fun. And then I was like, you know what? You're
just on Twitter for fun.
Yeah, I was just on Twitter for fun at the time. I had my job. I worked at a software firm as a business analyst during the day. At night, I was a real estate, agent, like realtor, selling houses, all that. And then one of my clients was like, oh, I'd love to pay in crypto. And I was like, oh, I love crypto. It's great. And they were like, you should go online and advertise because you have a big account already. I'd gotten like maybe 5K followers without my picture or anything. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool to like be a realtor. And so I took like my realtor, like my profile picture now is what I took for my realtor photo. And I never changed it. And that's what I posted because I was like, oh, this, looks very professional. It's not showing anything weird. Like I'm smiling. I was like, it'll probably attract realtor people from crypto, right? I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, okay, I'll post this picture. So I posted a picture and I opened the floodgates. And it was kind of too late once you post a picture. Like it's just kind of, It's over. People already know what you look like. You can't really take it back. So,
did you want to take it back?
For a little bit at first, I did. But once I started getting a lot more support and traction, like I started getting a lot of support, like crazy, support from my memes, from Dogecoin people, from AMC and GME people. And, I even made like a meme about Elon and he responded to it. And so like
nice.
Started getting all this, I made my crypto titties collection. I got a lot of support for that. And I used all those dick pictures, as like, I would post like them, I'll post them online. And I posted them as NFT collection. I didn't sell any, but I posted it an NFT collection called Dicks of Shame. Anytime I'd get sent a dick picture, especially if it was a funny one, because
there's some funny ones.
There's very funny ones. Like you wouldn't think that there is, but I got so many. I'm not joking you when I say like
hundreds.
I literally got hundreds. I never thought in my life that it would happen, but I guess I don't know. My face attracted some very crazy people. And I never get them anymore, thank God. But like I was for such a long time.
You don't get them. Why don't you get them anymore? You think?
I think it's because of all the times that I posted them online.
The dicks of shame.
Yeah, because some people, I guess, thought it was funny, and they would see me post it online, and they would send me them because I think, oh, she's gonna post it.
Yeah, she posts my dick.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
I was like,
bro.
what's wrong with y'all? So one of the first times I did it. It went viral on Twitter. I obviously blocked it out, but one of it was like he called himself daddy in it, and like he had such a small dick. Like it was laughable. Like I could cover it up with a bandage sticker. And I was like, dude, this is crazy.
Wow.
Like calling yourself daddy and sending me like
just put that guy.
I was like, this
you just buried that man.
Oh, dude, and he was so mad.
He was mad.
So mad because it went on Reddit. So somebody took that screenshot and put it on Reddit. It went viral on Reddit too. So it was viral on Twitter and Reddit.
He deserved it.
And his face was everywhere. And he because he.
Oh, you had his face in it.
Oh yeah. I blurred out his penis.
Oh my God! But his face.
He had this. He was flexing his muscle and he had his penis out.
Oh
and
my
God! It was like one of those like I don't know, like slug looking thing. It was like,
Wow.
He was so proud of it though. And not only did he post it
Proud papa.
in my DMs, yeah, proud. Not only did he post it in my DMs, but he started commenting it on my post, so I'd have to hide it. So then I was like, fuck it, I'll just post it online, and then he'll be like the first person that I shamed.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that was another thing that got me more traction on my account, is because I would just like roast these guys sending me dick pics, and every time they'd send me one, like, people would send them out of spite. They'd be like, oh yeah, I bet you haven't seen one like this before.
What
I'm
the
like,
hell?
Like, is this a challenge? Or like,
my God.
Are you just trying to...
Men. What
Yeah.
a terror. What a disgrace.
It was crazy. And some of them I don't think were even crypto guys. I think they were just...
Yeah, just random people.
Yeah.
It's impressive that you're able to take something like that makes you so uncomfortable and like negative, and then turn it into a positive for yourself. Like, that's...
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's
why I came up
impressive.
with crypto titties too, is because I kept getting DMs like, show me your titties, like, you know, after, and like I made it like a whole joke, you know, because like a lot of people were posting like a lot of NFT collections that were like just nothing burgers, you know. They were just like, oh, I made a leaf and, you know, posted it on, you know, OpenSea, like, come buy it or something. Like, people are just posting whatever at that point. And I was like, you know what, like, fuck it, I'll just make titties, like pixelated titties, like, you know, whatever you say. Like, I was like, you say, show me your titties, here they are, and it's just like little cartoon, you know, pixelated booby person. And somebody bought it, and that's how I made that crypto titties collection. And then I was really lucky with that one, because not only did I do really well on it, but one of my holders reached out and thought it would be a good idea to donate to breast cancer charities. And, you know, I ended up doing that, you know, with the giving block, and I donated to the American Cancer Society. They reached out to me. We started doing stuff together, and so I donated more, you know, to charity with them. And it was really cool. It was like a really cool time, I think, in my career, you know, because I was donating to charity. I was, you know, doing well on my, you know, on my account. Everything was going really well, I think. And then I started kind of like pivoting to like titty related content. You know, I'm sure you probably
titty
remember.
Content.
I'm sure you.
You had a lot of titty. A lot of people were tagging me because of the titty. They were like,
yeah, because you had the. Yeah, man. Yeah, because because I was like known as the titty girl for a long time.
Right.
And that was because of that collection and because of those DMs. Like, it was kind of escalated, and I was also trying to represent breast cancer charities. You know, so it was like I had like kind of this purpose, and I was making jokes, and I thought it would be great, and, you know, I just kept going and taking the joke further and further, and just, you know, like that was when my account probably went the most viral, is when I was just making titty jokes, and I wasn't even like showing my boobs or anything. I just was like posting jokes about them. So like every like one account, like, you know, the Greg account, you know, like, he said, what are the softest pillows, and I said titties, and that went viral, and I actually ratioed him, and it's really hard to ratio him, so I was like,
it's really hard to ratio.
I was like, oh, I've reached the pinnacle of success.
Yeah, Greg is the ratio master.
He really is. So I felt like I
he ratios
accomplished
everyone.
something. Yeah, it's like I accomplished something really big. You know?
Do you know who that is?
No. Well, I have some theories, and I've known the guy for a while, like back when you first started. And there was a guy that I think that it is, but he keeps saying it's not him, but I'm pretty sure it's him.
You have theories. That's interesting.
I have theories.
You have conspiracy behind the
I've
Greg
known him
account.
for a long time.
You know
so
that account for a long time.
Yeah, a very nice guy. You know,
Really?
I don't know who he is, but I know it's a dude for sure, just from the conversations we've had at DMs. But
He sent a dick pic.
no, no, thankfully not. That would ruin the mystique, I think. Gosh, could you imagine? Like,
He takes the one that you posted and just puts the Greg face.
oh my God, that would be so funny. Oh, I hope he does that one day. It'd be so funny. Oh my God.
So why did you start making videos then? Obviously, you didn't post your face. You didn't make any videos.
Yeah.
So why did you make the videos?
After all the titty stuff was kind of played out, I was like, I really need to find something else, because people are getting this idea that I'm like, the only thing that I have is my boobs. As you know, they assume that I show them, which I never did, and they just assumed that I wasn't doing anything other than making jokes all the time. Okay. And like, I had no substance behind me, I felt like, at the time. I was like, I see people all the time like yourself and K Money and all these people making video content, and I was really inspired, and I was like, I really want to make people realize I'm not just like making jokes all the time. Like, I can actually do shit. You know, I'm actually paying attention. You know, I have something good to say. I have, you know, whether it be a skit or talking about, you know, whatever is happening in the market. So I started making videos in November 2022, and that went pretty well. You know, I was like, okay, well, you know, because at first it was like a kind of a trickle, and then I think I got pretty lucky because I had some big comments. Like CZ commented a couple times on my videos, and you know, I started getting more traction behind, and I kind of pivoted myself from being like the titty joke girl to making videos, and that was probably the best pivot I've ever made in my life, honestly. It's like, you know, I should have done this when I first started, but you know, we're here now. So
at what point did you like leave your job?
Oh wow, yeah, that happened pretty early. So when I first was doing this, I didn't leave my job until like October 2021, and I had been in crypto since technically January 2021. I'd been doing this for a while. I never really saw the reason to leave it, you know, even after the crypto titties dropped. You know, I was just like, what's the point of leaving a job? Like, it just seems silly, right? So it was kind of because not only do I credit like shrooms for me doing this full time, which sounds crazy, but I had like a bunch of mental clarity moments in my life. One was on shrooms, where I was like, I remember at one of my jobs, after 6 years of working, you get a 6-month sabbatical. You can do whatever you want for 6 months and come back. And I was so excited to work 6 years of my life to take 6 months and do whatever I wanted. You know, so I was working super hard to get more time off. And that seems so dumb. You know, once I was on shrooms, I was thinking about it. I was like, I've been working my whole life, you know, since I was 16 years old. I've been working these jobs that I hated because I was like, I want to work closer to retirement. I want to retire early so I can live more of my life, right? Like, that's the dream. Like, I'm going to save up money for my 401k. You know, life happens. Your 401k kind of diminishes over time. All this stuff happens, you know, like, had a lot of crazy stuff happen in my 20s, you know, and for 10 years I worked at like banks and real estate firms and software firms, just kind of like hoping that something would stick. You know, I would get to the top of a, you know, part of my career and reach like a ceiling, couldn't go further, so I'd switch jobs and do the same thing. You know, you work yourself to a certain level, and executive, you can't really go too far. So I was like trying so hard to climb this corporate ladder so I could get to what I thought was the answer that I wanted in my life. Like, I wanted more free time. I wanted more time with my family. I wanted more money so I could take my family on nice vacations and like have fun. You know, it was never about like being a super wealthy person. It was about like spending more time and being able to treat my family to like the nice things in life, and like have, like, it was literally all about time. And whenever I thought about it, you know, like, I am doing this Twitter stuff, and I was in a meeting once, and this was when I was kind of wrestling with it, because a lot of people are like, you should just quit your job and do this full time. And I was like, that seems crazy. Like I've never done that in my life. Like, I've never not worked for a corporate job in my whole life. So it just like seems so stupid to me to quit your corporate career over that. And I had just got my real estate license, and I was doing good there. So I was like, I have so much going for me. Like, if I stop now, then, you know, I'll have to start all over again. And one of my bosses at the time said, yeah, you're making the right decision because you would never make it on your own. And I was like, yes, I can. I can make it on my own. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's got me. Because I don't know why that hit me so hard, but I was like, I cannot believe that I'm going to be working for 6 years overtime. I was working 50 to 60 hour weeks, like just busting my ass and like tweeting and making videos and doing all this stuff at the same time, and just like busting my ass, like taking time away from my family, my friends, my husband, you know, and me and my husband's marriage was still pretty new. So like, it just felt like, you know, I didn't have time for everything, including him. And he was telling me like you've got to choose one or the other too. Like, you know, he supported me throughout everything, no matter what I've done. But he was like, you're literally like working yourself into the ground. You don't even have mental time for anything, for vacations, for your family, for me, for, you know, whatever it may be. So I chose myself over corporate, and I haven't really looked back. Like, cause like, I guess once you hear that challenge, you know, you're like, fuck you, I can do it. You know, I don't know when you know, quit your job or anything, but like, I'm sure it felt very, you know, similar, like where you feel like you're finally ready to bet on yourself instead of like just letting everyone decide your path for you.
Yeah, I never really had a job, but so
well, that's
to
good
quit,
though.
yeah. But no, I definitely understand. Like I dropped out of school at university.
Mm-hmm. You know, me too. Actually, I haven't completed my degree, so.
Yeah, so I was just like, this is nonsense, and you know, my parents were like, "Oh, you got to go back to school." I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. Did they even have a good reason to go back, or?
Well, my dad especially, he comes from the mentality of, you know, you get an education,
mm-hmm.
you get a job, work at the job. That's what he's done his whole life.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of the idea behind it, but it was stupid. They didn't really teach too much there.
Yeah. Yeah, not the things that matter, you know, like it feels like I was watching a school bus earlier today, and I was like, I cannot believe, like, when I was a kid, my teacher would always say something like, you know, you're not going to have the calculator in your pocket, or you're not going to be able to know everything at the tip of your fingers all the time. And I'm like, but you can now.
Yeah.
What's the incentive to go to school anymore?
Especially with the AI.
Yeah.
It's like 100,000 times whatever calculator.
Yeah. I'm like, kids in school go to class, and they're like, they probably know more just simply because they have a Google.
Yeah.
Versus the teachers that may not use it anymore.
So what should you teach?
Oh, that's honestly what people should be teaching now, versus traditional school. Is since we are so able to access literally everything, you obviously need the basics, like common sense stuff. I think the biggest thing that people need to learn is how to run their own life, because so many people, like a lot of people in crypto, I've seen, like the younger people in crypto, they will get, you know, a certain sum of money, or they'll get a little bit of independence, and they have no idea how to run their own life. They don't know how to schedule meetings. They don't know how to manage their own money. They don't know how to invest properly in other things other than crypto. They don't know how to function as people, you know, even doing something super basic stuff. I mean, they don't know how to change the oil in their own car or change their tire. You know, I was taught that when I was a kid. You know, that's what's important, in my opinion. Like, things that not everybody will be there for you to do. Like, that's what should be taught.
Yeah. So you think fourth graders should just go to the Roto-Rooter, the Roto tires, and
oh yeah,
jack up cars? And
I mean, anybody could do it, really. You have the, you know, a little bit of strength behind you. So, I mean, I remember when I was 16, and I was taught to drive a stick shift, and also taught to change my own oil and my tire, and definitely was very useful over, you know, maybe not so much now. I don't know. Everybody has Teslas now, so, you know, maybe that's irrelevant too. So who knows what you need to learn anymore? Everything is AI.
Yeah, you could just watch a YouTube video right there.
Literally. I mean, it's so, like, YouTube is a better teacher in in a few years than any other teacher could be, because there's so much to learn about life.
Yeah.
And teachers are so underpaid that it's like they don't have the means or the probably willpower to actually learn all the things you could learn from AI or YouTube. And it's not really their fault, in my opinion. It's just
they can't know.
Yeah, they literally don't know.
They're
better
boomers.
They don't know better than AI, and AI is going to know everything. They don't.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
So tell me about your trip to Japan.
Oh,
We left off there.
I love Japan.
I've always wanted to go to Japan.
It's one of the best places in the world, I think. Probably my favorite place that I've ever been.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever I was younger, I was obsessed with anime and mangas and Japanese culture. So obsessed with it. Still am to this day. And that was like my biggest dream. Is the one place in the world I wanted to go is Japan. So in 2016, I saved up all my money, worked like crazy amount of hours, and took off 2 weeks to go to Japan. And I loved it. It was like the best. But at the time, I wasn't doing super well. I didn't really get to do as much as I wanted to, and I just didn't know anything.
Okay.
Like at the time, like I just didn't have any, like, I guess when you first got out of the country, there's so much adjustment that you just, like, you don't know about.
How was your first time out of the country?
Yeah, my very first time out of the country was in Japan. And it was so hard to get used to. Trying to get used to the different money, trying to get used to like how to travel, because you have to travel by train everywhere. So like felt like a big jumble mess, at the time. I was much younger back then. And so when I finally went back to Japan, I was like, I'm going to do it right. I know how to do it now. Like, I feel like I know. After 2 weeks before, now I get 2 weeks again. I feel like I get to redo it. And so a lot changed. The technology is crazy. Like every single bathroom, even public bathrooms, have bidets. And,
Really?
A lot of people maybe in America don't really know what that's like to use a bidet. And it's amazing. It's great. Like, every bathroom was so spick and span clean. Even
Really?
Even a subway bathroom. Usually, like, I've been to a subway bathroom in New York. Disgusting. Terrible. Looks, it's
You
a
don't
nightmare.
want to be in there. It smells bad, graffiti.
You only go if it's an absolute emergency.
Yeah.
Japan, you walk into it, it's beautiful, clean.
Yeah.
You don't even, like it just, like, it looks like someone cleaned it right before you sat on there.
Small Japanese man
Yeah.
wiping the floors.
Yeah, literally just, it's crazy. And there's like a little shelf to put all your stuff, unlike the U.S.
Oh, the shelf.
There's
in the
like
stall.
an actual shelf behind the toilet.
Wow.
You put all your stuff on there.
Lux.
And then when you go to the restroom, like, there's music playing, like nature sounds, like in almost every bathroom that they have. And
nature sounds.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's and so that's just like one of the first things when you notice when you get in the airport. You're like, oh my god, this is like, I already feel like like this is very technologically advanced.
Yeah, Singapore
everywhere.
feels like that too.
Yeah, Singapore is very similar, but Japan, everybody's super friendly. Everybody's very accommodating. The customer service. Oh my god, it's fantastic. Like, you go to a restaurant, they're just like all about, they always, whenever they say thank you, they always bow.
Mm-hmm.
So every time now when I say thank you, like, sometimes I'll like go in a bow a little
Ni
bit.
hao ma.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of respect. A lot of respect. Everywhere is clean. So they had a terrorist attack maybe 20, 30 years ago.
Really?
Maybe, I can't remember if it was the 80s or the 90s, but it was in the subway, Tokyo Station. And a lot of people died because somebody threw away some trash that had like toxic fumes. So ever since then, Japan is very careful about their trash. And that's why you notice when you go there, it's so clean. Because not only do they now have trash cans everywhere, because they're, obviously worried about another attack. It's like our 9/11, but it's with a station for them with trash. So it's very unfortunate. So like, that's made their trash way different. Like, they're very careful about their trash, like unlike any other country I've ever seen. Then wherever you go, like,
So they have
like,
a war on trash.
Yeah, war on trash, basically. Is what they have, and they've won that war.
They won the war on trash.
It's amazing. You could eat food off the ground, probably.
Wow,
It's
okay.
just beautiful. Almost every restaurant we went to had some kind of crazy, like, not only did they have touchscreens to order everything, like they're super nice, but like you don't have to really engage with a lot of people when you order your food. But they had like robot servers.
Really?
Like, yeah, so like robots bringing you your
That's
food.
like a common thing?
It's a very common thing.
Really?
Yeah, so like several restaurants we went to, like we'd have a server just explain real quick, like in Japanese, which we didn't really understand what they were saying, but they were like setting the screen in front of us. We order, then this little bot comes out, and you take your food off the tray, and it like smiles like a fake smile at you, and it's like makes a noise like dee dee dee, and so that was kind of cool to see, like more of
Are
that.
these like tourist places, or are these
No,
like
these
locals?
these are just local, like local random restaurants. But there are
Really?
like actual robot cafes, but they're robot cafes. Their robots are actually controlled by people who can't work. So it's like fully automated robots, and that's how people that
So
can't
it's
work.
DI robots.
Yes, yeah. So that's actually pretty cool too. Trains are super, like everything is so easy to get to. It's the most walkable, easily transportable city. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like literally you could get, like I was staying in next to Tokyo Station, like 10 minutes from Tokyo Station, and literally I was within like 2 minutes of every big city. Like we what normally would take 4 hours, by car, we could get to within like 30 minutes by train. I mean, it was crazy.
What?
Yeah. And there was bullet trains. Bullet trains are awesome.
So
They're
crazy.
just as good as they say. So we were staying in Tokyo for the most part, and then we went to Osaka to go to the Universal Studios Park. And, it's like half, like all the way on the other side of Japan. It took us like a couple hours, by bullet train. It's so comfy. It's like they have super nice chairs. They have a bathroom. Like, they're just very, like,
With
very
the
nice
magnets?
trains.
The trains with the magnets? Like it's levitating?
Well,
No.
I think some parts do, but the plane, it kind of looked like a more comfy plane. Like you're flying premium economy,
Yeah.
but it's a train.
Wow.
So it's
Did
like
they
a very
serve
nice. Well, some parts of the train do. Like if you're like reserve a
VIP,
seats,
yeah.
like VIP reserve.
First
but-
class.
Exactly, but like there's 3 different tickets you can get. You can get like a regular ticket where you just
Poor.
poor people ticket. You just grab a random seat. Then you have the reserve tickets that you get to actually reserve your seat. Then there's the fancy VIP where you get waited on. And,
Emperor status.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't do that because like I'm not bougie.
Oh, okay.
Well, plus they have these convenies. They call them convenies.
What is that?
So they're like our gas stations, like our convenience stores. So like think of a 7-Eleven, but there's no gas station. It's just the store.
Okay.
And those, like, you're basically going to like it's probably some of the best food that you would have in America, but it's in a freaking convenience store.
They have that rice balls.
They have the onigiri, the rice balls. They have full-on meals. They have like this. Like, they have everything that you could want. Like, we got fried chicken sticks there, and we normally don't eat that, but, like, or why not? It was super quick when we were trying to get it. Best fried chicken I've had.
Really?
In a long time. Yeah, I was, like, at the freaking Conbini. And they call it Conbini, Conbeny, I think.
Okay.
So, like, everything is so efficient there.
Yeah.
Like, even from the way that they communicate with each other, like, the way that... And everybody's so all about being uniform. Like whenever, a lot of people would see, something as simple as crossing a light, a lot of people like just kind of jaywalk and do all that stuff. In Japan, nobody does that. They're like there's a saying there that is kind of morbid, but also like makes sense for their culture. Just depends on what kind of person you are. But like, they don't like people standing out too much, but not in a necessarily negative way, but they want everybody to be uniform. Like when they're kids, they're actually taught to be polite. They're taught manners and all of that stuff, which is something probably we need to teach in America. But all the kids are literally taught 2,000 characters of their alphabet. 2,000 characters. It's crazy. Plus Chinese characters. So they're taught all these different alphabetical things. So like a much crazier alphabet than we have. And not only that, but they're taught manners, how to clean, how to do all these things at like kindergarten, basically. So that's ingrained into their culture. So the saying is like the nail that sticks out gets hammered, basically. It's like very poorly translated by me, but that's basically, I have a friend that lives there. It's lived there for 16 years, and it's basically like everybody is all about uplifting the country, and it's not really about individuality, which can be negative, but also their country is so efficient in so many ways, you know, from the way that their restaurants are run to the way that their country is so clean to how sophisticated like everything is, like the technology, like even like you go to I think it was Shibuya Crossing, which is that famous, you know, part that everybody goes to
in the middle.
Yeah, it's
Catty corner.
It looks so cool, and like the
With
advertisements were awesome. Like you
like
know,
Times Square times 100.
Yeah, and there's like this one billboard that one of their advertisements was just a cat playing, and it's just like almost like 3D coming at you.
Wow.
And it's, I mean, all the stuff, every single sign, even construction signs, are covered in like cute little people. Like they warn you by having like a cute little angry face, like don't go here, you know. So it's just like, it's just so unique. So I mean, there's so many good things, so many beautiful things. We saw, you know, Mount Fuji, which was really pretty. We went to Universal Studios and Tokyo Disney Sea, both awesome places. Very, very awesome. You know, if you go, I would recommend that for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Those.
What was so good about it?
So Tokyo Disney Sea has, I've been to Disney World, and I mean, I like Epcot like a lot. It's like really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Tokyo Disney Sea is just so, like it feels like open world more than anything. Like it's got like to me it has more like sea elements, like obviously it's Tokyo Disney Sea, but it's like very there's like this word that I'm looking for. It feels like almost more magical, maybe because it's in another country, but because like everything is surrounded by water, so it's like all thematic, like everything is on theme.
So I don't even understand what this is. Like, so you're walking in and it's indoors?
So Tokyo Disney Sea is fully outdoors.
It's outdoors.
It's outdoors. So it's like literally open concept, everything. There's obviously like little buildings and stuff you can go inside, but everything else is outdoors. So you have like pirate ships.
But it's
like
on an island? Like they built an island for it?
It kind of is in a way.
Okay.
You know, it's like separate from the rest of Tokyo. So you have to like take a special train. They have like a Disney themed train.
Oh, really?
That you can take in there.
Okay.
It's super cool. It has like Disney, like Mickey Mouse windows, and
yeah,
you know,
wow.
So it's like they're very big over there, super big.
Okay.
And like everybody's into the culture. So
they have real boats?
They have like little boats that you can go
real
to different.
Boats?
Yeah, they have real boats that you can go to different parts of.
Oh, they take you could.
Yeah. And it's like a ride. So you get in line for a ride that we thought was a ride, but it's just a boat to go to the other side of Disney Sea, because that's how big it is. It's huge. So
oh my God.
I mean, it's one of the biggest parks that I've ever seen. You know,
it's an island of
it's
theme
like
parks it's like
yeah,
what?
It's like an island of theme parks. Like it's
wow, that's
crazy.
So crazy.
And I mean, they have some of the coolest rides. Like we rode a what is it with Harrison Ford? What's that movie called?
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they have an Indiana Jones expedition ride. Very cool ride, like very detailed. But it's funny because Harrison Ford is like a wax sculpture in there, and he's talking to you, but he's in Japanese, so it's like funny to see like Harrison Ford in Japanese. And they had Journey to the Center of the Earth, and that was one of the best rides there. It's so cool, like because part of the roller coaster when you go all the way down, at the very top you have a full view of the entire park.
Wow. One
of the prettiest things you'll see.
So
very, very cool. But Universal Studios is better because it's also outdoors, But
This is in Osaka?
in Osaka. Osaka is probably my favorite part of Japan.
Okay.
Because there's so much to do there.
Wow. Okay.
And so
Better than the island part.
Yeah, it is,
okay,
it is.
somehow.
I didn't think it was going to be better.
Okay.
But it did, because Universal Studios is crazy. So you go in there and there's every single thing that you can think of outside of Disney. Like, think of Pokemon, Minions, Hello Kitty, Sesame Street, Super Nintendo. Think of all those different, imagine like almost every single franchise that you can think of in your head, and it's there. It's all there. It's all themed. So, and there's so many different rides themed after it. Like, there's a whole little Minions land. There's a whole Toy Story land. There's, was that a Disney? No, I think it was, I'm trying to remember all the details in my head.
I think that's Pixar.
Yeah, you're right. So is that the other one? But there was like a whole Pikachu parade, which was fun. There was there's so much. There was like a whole.
What's the food like? Did you eat in there? Is it good?
The food there is so good.
In the park.
In both parks, it was really good. I think I had more to eat at the Universal Studios, and it's all themed. Like, they have seashell. Like, you open it, it's like an ice cream seashell, which was crazy. They had the
is it like Mario food? Like,
yeah, they had Minions burgers.
Minions burger,
which was super cute. I liked it. They had so they have the Super Nintendo World, where they have like very themed Nintendo food and all that stuff. But I'll tell you, I've never felt more like, I thought I was gonna cry when I went into Super Nintendo World and I saw it, because it was just like the video game, like in real life, like right there in front of my eyes.
What did you see?
So, like, you go through the green tube,
right?
Okay,
that's so cool.
And you go through like part of Princess's Castle before you get to the actual like full park for Super Nintendo World, and you have to like wait to go in. It's like you have to like, it's timed entry, so you have to like wait a certain time. And when you go in there, when you first like play Super Mario and you see like, the little brick guys and the little Goomba things and the stars and all that, it's like, it's all right there. And it's like, just looks just like the game. Like, and it's almost overwhelming. I'll have to show you a video after this, but it was just like,
that's so cool.
It was like magical. And that was the first video game I ever played in my life, so it was like, I was like, oh my God, this is like my. And
so they have rides there and food.
They had a Mario Kart ride in Bowser's Castle.
Okay. Are you driving or you're just sitting?
No, you're driving it.
Oh,
you're driving like
in Bowser's Castle.
Yeah. That was sick.
That is so fun.
It was so sick. And like, there was a Yoshi ride that was really cute. Literally, there's like mini games that you can earn coins to buy stuff in shops. Every single, like, there was a Harry Potter world, which, I've been to the Harry Potter world at Universal Studios Florida, and I will say that the Florida one is probably like bigger and more technologically better, but the one in Japan is like felt more real. Like, it was like designed based on the actual set versus just like a bunch of cool tech stuff.
Yeah.
Butterbeer, frozen butterbeer, just amazing.
What is that?
It's like
I know what is in the book, but like, what did it
it's like butterscotch. It's ice cream,
fizzy?
Butterscotch. It's not really fizzy, especially if you have it frozen.
Okay.
But the frozen is the best. It's like ice cream, but it's like the best kind of ice cream.
Wow.
And I'm a big Hello Kitty person. I'm not gonna lie, that's like my favorite thing. And there was like a whole Sanrio Hello Kitty area that I geeked out over. And that was one of my favorite parts.
Okay.
So Universal Studios to me is more like, if you like more than just Disney, like if you're not super big into Disney, which I like Disney, but it's like Disney. It's, it's very basic stuff, but Universal had like everything. They even had a Resident Evil scene like that they played out. They had Jaws world there.
Yeah, wow.
Like a big Jaws shark. I mean, they had literally everything. So like if you're looking for more of like a magical experience, I'd say Universal is really cool. But if you're like a super big Disney person and like sea themed rides, I think Disney Sea would be. But I always tell people, like, if you can only go to one, like, go to Universal.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, sorry, I just went on a rant about that whole thing, but like.
No, that was good. That was great.
But it just goes to show you how advanced the Japanese are with their theme parks too. It's like insane. So.
What was the best thing you ate, just in general, like the best restaurant experience? Like, what was the nicest? What did you really enjoy?
So, a lot of the restaurants, they have you cook your own meat.
Okay.
And that was probably one of my favorites. I went to this katsu place, which katsu, they have like different kinds of katsu. They have like chicken.
Yeah, it's like
steak.
deep fried breaded.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, I went to this place. I forgot what it's called because it was all in Japanese, so I didn't know the actual name of it. But it was in Agihabara, which is like Electric City. And it's underground. It was an underground katsu place, and basically you cook your steak katsu by yourself, and oh my gosh.
Really? Deep fry?
It's not deep fry. It's on a grill, so they fry it, or they have the breading on there, and you just like cook it like you would a normal steak.
Oh, really?
And the way that they do the breading,
it's grilled katsu.
Oh, it's so good. Like it was one of the best places I ate, and I can't even remember the name of it now, but.
Damn.
It's in Akihabara. It's one of the most popular katsu places there. Underground, you have to wait like a few minutes because it's very small. A lot of their best restaurants are very small. I also went to a burger restaurant, one of the best burgers I've had in my life, and I normally wouldn't eat American food like while I'm in another country, but this place was called Whoopi Gold Burger. It was like the smallest little burger place, and all their burgers were themed after actors and like celebrities and stuff. So I had the Kevin Bacon burger, best burger I've ever had in my life at Whoopi Gold Burger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so good. It was incredible, and I don't really eat like bread. Like I stay away from bread stuff, but oh my god, dude, that was.
Was it Wagyu? What was this burger?
I think it might have been Wagyu. It would make sense. A lot of their beef is Wagyu, which is like just incredible. Like every single katsu restaurant that you went to, that's probably the best food. They had grilled meat restaurants like you can have like cook yourself. Those are always the best.
I want to call it Korean barbecue, but
it's I mean I do too.
Is that racist?
Well, I think maybe they did it first. I don't know though.
Okay, Japanese barbecue.
Japanese barbecue is pretty incredible. Like I went to this place one of the last days I was there. It was like a Japanese barbecue run by a sumo wrestler. Very cool.
A sumo wrestler. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And there was this vampire cafe. It's literally just called Vampire Cafe. Okay. And they serve the food, and they're all dressed like vampires, and it's year round, so it's not just a Halloween theme. It was like they're very serious about it too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we did the 8-course, main vampire like full course.
Oh, they have a tasting menu.
Yeah, they have a tasting menu, so we tried everything, and they had everything from like squid ink pasta. It was just all black pasta, which is crazy. It tasted very good, but very weird. And they had like this juicy Wagyu steak. They had so much food. Like they went all out, and they were all shaped.
And it's like good food. It's not like a gimmick.
Food. It's all shaped weird.
Yeah.
They like the steak had like a cross there that they burned. Yeah.
They're burning.
They
burned the cross at the table.
They did. And one of the first meals that we got there was an appetizer, and it was crazy because I didn't realize, because they had just served our drinks and they said some weird stuff, and it was like a bloody themed drink, and I was like, this is cool.
Okay.
So they went to go do this appetizer, and it was like a bread type thing that had like a red wine demi sauce that they had to pour over, and they got this other guy with a super deep voice, and they said some creepy stuff in Japanese,
really,
and poured it over, and then fire came out, and I was like,
what?
Oh my god, dude,
that is the craziest restaurant.
It was so cool. I mean, they were very on theme. Like, they all had, like, the fake
teeth and
fangs
everything. Yeah.
I mean, they were very, very. So, I mean, I feel like all the food there, you can't really go wrong. Like, no matter where we went, it was probably some of the best food I've had ever. Like, coming back to America after eating in Japan for so long.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's, like, the food here is trash.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's not even just like the taste in America that's different, but like the way it makes you feel is so different. Like, we would have similar food in Japan, like French toast, you know, for instance. You have it in Japan versus America. There's so much different ingredient differences, like you don't really notice until you read them on the back of the cards. You know, in Japan they have like 5 ingredients. In America they have like fucking 20. And
they only burn crosses at clan meetings.
And they only, wow. But I mean, it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm like a fangirl or something, but like I don't know. It's not the same when I come here. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm just eating super basic now. I'm just like.
When did you get back?
Well, we got back on Friday. So went through a lot of jet lag. So I've been back almost for a full week, but it took me so long to go over jet lag.
Just a week.
Yeah. So, well, we were in Bali for a week after Japan.
Oh, and then you went to Bali.
Yeah, we went to Bali.
Wow.
So we went to Thailand, Singapore, Japan, then Bali.
No, you went to Dallas, to Alaska.
To
Japan.
God. I never want to go to Alaska.
That's quite
again.
a trip. Wow.
Yeah. It was a lot, and Bali was beautiful.
You were away for like 3 months then, no?
Yeah, 2 months almost. Yeah, I was getting close to 3, but I didn't want to be gone that long.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was the longest I've ever been out of the United
and you
States.
planned to do that whole thing?
Yeah, planned it.
Wow.
I've always wanted my whole life to go out of the country and stay out for a long time. Like I wanted to go like on a month backpacking trip. You know, one of those like basic you know, high school girls.
Yeah, Marina Bay Sands.
Yeah, my name is Ashley. You know, like basic white girl moment. Like, oh, I gotta take
hostel.
Yeah. So, but
bring your own shampoo.
Yeah, I mean, I was very. I'm not gonna lie, I went very bougie for this. You know, trip all around Asia.
I was gonna say Marina Bay Sands.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound. The salon at a girl's house.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, I got very lucky in those. You know, I got, you know, the salon at girls villa, you know, was covered because like I was in the show, and then, you know, the Marina Bay Sands I got covered because of Karate Combat, and then Japan, you know, obviously that was out of pocket for me.
Did you stay in the Marina Bay Sands?
No, I stayed near
by
it. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, would have been nice, but you know.
Yeah, no. I wanted to go to the roof there. Did you go up to the roof?
I know.
Is it part of the hotel?
I was supposed to. No, it was. So you had to. It's such a weird way to go on the roof. It's right next to the gardens.
Oh, okay.
And you have to like go like in the special elevator,
oh, really?
And then you have to go.
Do you have to buy a ticket?
Yeah, you have to buy a rooftop deck ticket, and it's timed. So not only we got there to go up to the roof.
It's like Nintendo World.
Yeah, and it's timed entry, and they were like, "Oh, you can't go till like 5 or 6, or you know, you have to come tomorrow at 2 p.m." I'm like, well, "It's just a rooftop."
Oh, so you didn't go?
No,
oh, that's too bad.
It was too. We had so much that we had going on, and I was like, "Ugh." At that point, I was so sick of waiting in line, you know, because I waited in the line to go to go to the roof, and then they were like, "Oh, you can't go in yet. You can buy a ticket though." I was like,
"What?
I have dinner plans." Like, what the heck?
So, what did you do in Bali?
Oh man, in Bali we just kind of focused on relaxing because Japan was all about like I wanted to do everything,
activities and
super active.
Sights.
So we stayed at this little resort in Bali, this like little villa. It only had like 8 hotels, and it was like super next to the jungle, next to the rice fields, and it was really nice. It had its own like little pool in the back. Like each villa had its own pool. It had like it was probably the biggest room in Asia that I stayed. I mean, all the little rooms are so tiny. The beds are so tiny.
People are small in Asia.
Yeah. So, but that was like huge, and we were like, oh my god, this is the biggest place we've stayed in Asia. So. And we stayed next to this city called Ubud, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's a city in Bali. It's one of the most popular tourist destinations. I didn't really know that at the time, but we wanted to kind of get a little bit of city and beach and kind of going back and forth. So We just kind of spent most of the time just kind of relaxing, like going to the city, buying some things. We went to this restaurant called Merlin's. It's where they let you choose your food with tarot cards. So you choose the tarot cards and they give you like a reading, and then your tarot cards are your appetizer, dinner, and dessert.
Wow.
So it's like total
My
risk.
wife would love that.
Yeah. I had fun, but my husband, he got all vegetarian meals, and he's so
What if you have an
mad.
allergy?
Yeah. He was like, I'm going to do it. I was like, oh my God, because he got served his least favorite foods. Like his salad was a freaking strawberry yogurt salad with olives and cucumber, all of his least favorite foods.
That's what he needed, though.
Yeah, he did it. He was like, I want my tarot reading to come true. So he did it. I was proud of him. It's the most vegetables
He's ever
eaten. Yeah, I was like, because I wouldn't eat it either. Like, I like all of those foods, but I don't like strawberry yogurt, so would have been bad for me. But it was so weird.
Feels like the chef's like, I don't like that guy. Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, he must have known. He must have known. It was just so funny. There was like a card called winning.
Okay.
And I was like, surely that's going to be the steak.
Right.
That's what I thought. Because I got everything that I wanted. I got great food. I got my seafood and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
That was
okay.
cool. So he gets served the winning card, and it's just a vegetarian lentil dish. And I was like, how was that winning?
That's losing, bro.
I was like, there's no way. It's like somebody's pranking us right now. But yeah, the city was really cool. It's very crowded, but very, like, everybody. Bali people are probably the nicest people in Asia. Like, they're
Really?
very nice. Like, just, like, the drivers, the people that you interact with, like, their whole country or that particular part, Bali is very hospitality. Like, that's their biggest industry.
Yeah.
And I talked to one of the drivers there, and they were, like, telling us, like, we are raised basically to either learn other languages or pick up a, be like either a doctor or like these, important jobs. But their most common industry that is probably one of their most lucrative is hospitality. And so they learn English and they learn how to accommodate a tourist like very early on. Or at least that's one of the guys was telling us. And so it was like crazy to see like the links. Like we booked a tour. It's probably the most vain tour I've ever booked in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you, because we wanted to see all of Bali, really quickly because we were kind of like tired from everything. So I booked an Instagram tour, and it's basically all the most notable Bali locations in a day. So you spend 8 to 9 hours in a day and go see everything. The gates of heaven, all the Instagram picture destinations.
Okay.
And so the tour guides there, like we didn't hire photographers.
What is Gates of Heaven?
So it's like, that picture where it's 2 big concrete walls and people like are seeing their reflection. It's like the famous.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to show you.
Okay,
But
okay.
so it's like one of the most iconic pictures.
Okay. It's a man-made thing?
It's kind of like it's a man-made structure. Like my phone's over there. I'll show you. I'll show you at some point. So it's basically 2 big structures, and you take a picture here, and it reflects your image, like all of it. And it looks super cool, right? So we go to this first location, and I don't hire a photographer at all because, like, I wouldn't be that vain. But, the tour guide goes, like, I've got you. Like, I'll do it. And it's just this little Balinesian guy or Indonesian guy, just very, very unassuming looking. I was like, I don't know if he can take pictures. I don't think he's an Instagram kind of dude, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm taking them for Instagram because I don't really use it. But I was like, I want them for memories,
Yeah.
So we get there to the gates of heaven, and I get there in all the pictures that I saw, there was like water reflecting the image, right? So I get to the actual location, no water. And it's just the concrete. And I was like, I feel like I've been rugged here, like this is not what I'm seeing. So the guy goes, I promise you, I'll get you the reflection. I was like, how do you get the reflection off of concrete? There's no way, right?
Okay.
So I wait in line for this picture, and I take it. And
You have to wait in line?
Yeah, you have to wait in line. It's a very holy place. The
Oh, it's
gates
a
of
holy
heaven.
place.
It's a temple.
I thought it was just an Instagram thing.
So it's a temple. It's like a very prestigious temple. Like, you see no people kissing in the pictures because you're not allowed to kiss. There's like so many rules that you have to follow.
Buddhist or
Huh?
Buddhist?
I think it's Buddhist. It might be Hindu. It's either Buddhist or
Okay.
Hindu. That's their like two religions that they have
Okay.
there. So I can't really. I feel bad for not being able to remember. But
Was there a Buddha there?
there was not a Buddha there.
So,
So it's probably
maybe give you a
Hindu.
good hint.
Probably Hindu. But it was very beautiful. It was a very cool location.
Okay.
There was their tallest mountain was in the background. It was clear.
Really?
Yeah, so it was like
Wow.
just a gorgeous day out.
Yeah.
We had breakfast waiting for the picture because there's like a whole process. Apparently, it's like the most famous place to take a picture ever. And there's a whole process. So you go to the location and you have to grab a number to go take your picture.
Okay.
And
Like you're at the deli.
yeah, that's exactly how it is. And they're like, you're number 236, and there's 100 and something people in front of you. So you go to have breakfast, and we had breakfast next to this beautiful. Oh my God, it was like there was a jungle everywhere. It's just everywhere in Bali that you look, it's beautiful. So we had this really nice breakfast. We go to the temple because our number's about to be called, and there's like everybody, all kinds of people there, like, kids, older people, like everybody's waiting to take these pictures. And you have 4 poses each. And if you're a couple, you have 4 poses each plus 4 poses as a couple. And they make sure you don't take more than your poses. So we're going to take these pictures. And I'm like telling this guy, there's no way you can do it. Like, how do you reflect concrete off of concrete? Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
So he takes these pictures, and I look. And sure enough, there's a fucking reflection. And I was like, there's no water anywhere. How are you doing this? Apparently what they do, because it's such a big tourist destination, the first time somebody took a picture like that, there was standing water in the temple. And so it created like that iconic first picture, and it never happened again. So what they did is they grabbed 2 mirrors and they adjust them, and all the tour guides know how to do this. And they adjust them to where it looks like in the picture that they're standing water, and they all do it.
So he brought a mirror?
He brought 2 separate mirrors so that he could take the reflecting picture, and it looked just like there was water there, and there was no water there.
Wow.
I was like, I feel like such a LARP right now. Like, this is
That's
like
crazy.
mega LARP. It didn't look anything
That's
like
a filter.
It is, but it's a real life fake filter. They all know how to do it. Every single tour guide knows how to do it.
Crazy. Wow.
And, yeah.
Wow.
And the guy that we went to all these iconic locations. And they got the angles.
Yeah,
going,
they know
like,
how to photograph at those places.
Yeah,
That's so
and
crazy.
they're like, this is our business. People pay us, tour
Yeah.
guides, to take these pictures, and they just know how to do it.
Did you pay him to take the pictures?
I didn't pay him to. I just paid him for the tour only.
Wow.
They just knew how to take the pictures. They were like,
Wow.
they were like professional photographers, but they were tour guides. So it's like every single guy in Bali knew how to take like the angles like better. Like I went. This is probably the most vain thing I ever done in my life. Okay, like super vain, but it was for. I'm just not gonna lie. It was for me because I wanted to feel a certain kind of way. So we went to the jungle swing to do the jungle picture. Like that big Bali swing that everybody takes with the jungle in the background. And they were like, asking us how we wanted the pictures, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna swing like just one picture. I don't need anything crazy. And he goes, get it the dress. The big dress. And I was like, I don't need a dress. Like, that's silly. And he's like, no, get it. Promise you. It's going to be worth it. Buy the dress. So I buy this big fucking dress. It wasn't very expensive in Bali.
You bought the dress like next to this location?
It's next to there's
so they're selling dresses
they're
next
selling
to
dresses right next to the swing
Okay.
for this reason.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I've seen the Instagram women, and they have this big long dress. I'm like, that's not going to be me. Like, there's no way. That's crazy.
You don't usually wear a dress.
No, I did. Oh, no. Hell no. So I go to put this dress on. I'm like feeling very just like I've done too much. I'm like, oh my God, I can't post these pictures. People are going to roast me on Twitter for these. Like it's just so much.
Okay.
And so they're like, okay. So get on the swing, and we'll tell you what to do from there. So I get in the swing, and they grab the length of the dress. Like, I have to ball it up first. They grab it slowly.
It's like a train.
It's like a train.
Long.
It's so long. It's like stupid long. You can't walk in it.
Okay.
So they unroll this dress, and to take the picture, there's 2 guys on each side of the dress, and they're fanning the dress.
Oh my God.
And the other guys got the angle, so when you see the picture, it looks like the
They're
dress is flowing, and it's not even there. And I hadn't even swung yet, so it's just like they're like this. And then
you hadn't swung yet.
I hadn't even swung yet, so it looks like I swung, but I'm not.
Oh my God.
And so when they go to push me off to swing to get the video, there's a super tall dude that does it, and he like jumps so high, and he just like throws you off the swing basically, and you're like,
you got to hold on.
Yeah, you got to hold on, and they've got you strapped in, but it doesn't look like they do for pictures. Like they're very, very
it's under
specific.
the dress.
It's under the dress. So I go to swing, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to look like that. And the guy was able to do like a slow-mo video, and they had the 2 guys fanning it as I'm swinging. And he did this angle.
Wow.
And he's like, turn your head to the side. So I turn my head to the side.
Oh, he's giving
me advice.
Everything. This guy is like producing you.
He's literally, and so I look at all of it, and I'm like, oh my God, I look like one of the Instagram girls. I look just like it.
That's so crazy.
So I was like, I spent a whole day just like doing stuff like that, and did not know that I was gonna get like, I thought I was just gonna get like footage for me, like just like. I'm more like when I do stuff like that, I'm not like a super girly girl, so I don't like do that kind of stuff.
Right.
So Bali felt like very like there was a lot of people there just wanting us to feel like very well taken care of. Like we got one of those floating breakfasts too at our villa, and they were very like they're very hospitality.
What's a floating
focused,
breakfast?
Like, so they fill up a basket with breakfast and flowers and then in your pool they push it to you, and it's like it's so bougie. It's so bougie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never felt more bougie in my life than I did in Bali. I was like, I have to do these things because I feel like it's so fancy.
I thought they were gonna tie it to balloons, and you were gonna like.
That would be fun. I mean, they probably would if they could, but yeah.
Wow.
Bali was just focused on like the bougiest type shit I've ever done in my life, and it's very relaxing.
Would you want to live there?
I think maybe for a few months I could, but God, the traffic is a nightmare. Their streets are like so tiny, you can barely fit 2 cars on, and they're honking all the time.
Oh my!
And they're not honking angrily. They're honking because their streets are so like there's so many blind spots that they're honking to make sure that the car coming doesn't hit them. And they like the way that their cars drive, like they're like that. They're like on top of each other. So you're sitting here like one car's going like that, and like you're very close to hitting each other. They don't hit each other. It's crazy. I don't know how they do that, but it's definitely not like Eat, Pray, Love. It's not like that at all. It's still very nice though.
It's not like Eat, Pray, Love.
No. Yeah, and they make it seem like the streets are like as big as the ones in the U.S. Definitely not. It's like so small.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very, very good country. Very cheap. So cheap. Like we ate every day out and paid less than $500 all together for all the food we ate, morning, noon, and night, and all the snacks. So we got like
the whole time.
We had all of it, including massages and all of that. Like. Wow. So cheap. I was like, damn. Like, honey. And I got this tattoo actually while I was there.
In Bali?
Yeah. I got a half sleeve. Took forever.
Okay.
And I paid less than $800 for a half sleeve. And it was,
What inspired you?
I had a tattoo there before. And I got it when I was 18 because I was like being real rebellious, and my parents were like, you couldn't get a tattoo until you're 18.
Playing hockey.
Yeah. And so my friend, she wanted to be a tattoo artist but never tattooed before, and she goes, I'll give you one for free.
Oh no.
And I did it. I was like, you know what, not only do I want one tattoo, I want 3. So I got 2 on my shoulder.
Okay.
And 1 on my back. This one is still there, but I covered these 2 with this big one because they were like really bad tattoos.
She had a gun?
Yeah, she had a tattoo gun. I bought it for her.
You bought her the gun?
I bought her kit.
And you're like, yeah, do this now.
I was like, she's got this. You know, she's really talented. She's my girl. She's going to hook me up. Oh, my God, dude. And back then, they didn't have numbing cream.
Yeah, wow.
And so I got a tattoo, like, right there. And that's
pain. That's pain.
Yeah. And so this one I got, and they had numbing cream, but I didn't realize how long it was going to take them because I showed them a picture of what I wanted. Because this is a phoenix.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do like rise, like a phoenix, and of course like a little galaxy. Like I got a little bit of different elements in this. And they were like, "Oh yeah, it'll take like 6 hours," and that's still a long time. But I was like,
"That is a long time."
It's like, okay, 6 hours, you know, like average for the big tattoos, right? I was like, okay, and I've got numbing cream, I'll be fine, right?
Right. Okay.
6 hours passes. Tattoo's not even halfway done.
Oh my God! You just have to sit there? Did they put a TV on for you or something?
No TV or anything. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my God!
You're just sitting there, and they're just. That sounds horrible.
My husband was there getting a tattoo, but his had already finished.
Okay.
They were very quick on him. For me,
yeah,
my tattoo was 12 hours. 12 hours.
Oh my God!
And you can't stop because because then it's gonna look like shit.
Oh my God!
So I was like, okay, well.
You were like in that.
I was like 3 hours in, and I'm already like, it's too late. I can't go back. Like,
oh my God!
12? 12 hours, dude. So.
It looks nice though.
It does look nice.
It's super colorful.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is still healing. So I still, week out from that. I literally got it the day before we flew back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of not my finest decision ever, but
why?
We wanted to get a tattoo, but you're not supposed to get tattoos in like water or sun, and I was like scared I was gonna mess it up. So
you got it at the end.
Yeah, and I was like, well, maybe not a great idea before like a 25-hour flight home. Mm-hmm. But it was okay. So it sealed pretty good so far. So definitely worth it. I mean, the tattoo like this in the U.S. would be like $2,000, but in Bali it was like $800.
Yeah. Wow. 12 hours? Yeah, $2,000 makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, this guy hooked it up.
Yeah, that's overtime.
He took his time too. He was like super detailed. I'm telling you though.
Wow.
Hurt.
I'm sure.
Hurt bad. Even with the numbing cream, you'd think that the numbing cream, they tell you like, oh, it's not going to hurt. No. It does.
You're like bleeding everywhere.
Yeah. And then after you get your tattoo, I don't know, have you ever gotten a tattoo?
No.
So I got the smaller ones, and I don't remember this at all when I first was getting it, but also like that was like when I was 18, and I probably recovered much better at the time. But so the first day, they put something called second skin on it.
Okay.
To kind of keep all your fluids and keep stuff from
so it doesn't
getting
get
into
infected
it. Yeah, so it's like it's called second skin. It's like very
it's like a cream or something.
It's like a adhesive almost.
Okay.
Like so it almost
like a saran
feels,
wrap.
Yeah, exactly. It's very similar but very breathable.
Uh-huh.
It keeps your tattoo from getting infected, being uncomfortable. So you wear that like for 5 days, And the thing was though that sucked is that I didn't realize this, but you're supposed to let your tattoo breathe, and since they were closing, I didn't get to let my tattoo breathe. They just put the second skin on immediately after. So I am sitting here, so you bleed, not only do you bleed blood, but you bleed plasma. Oh. And I didn't know that. I had no idea. So I'm sitting here, like, I go to bed and I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck is on my hand? And I'm like what? And then I find out it's plasma. I got plasma everywhere on my arm,
oh my
on
God,
my hands. It's so nasty.
That's disgusting.
And I was like, dude, this is the nasty.
The plasma.
So I had to fly while I was bleeding plasma.
While you're all plasmaed out.
So I had to wrap my hand, my
God.
arm in a blanket as
oh
I'm
my
flying.
Lord.
I'm like, this is the worst. This is the worst. Like flight pack. So, yeah, it was an adventure. So I learned a lot of things about myself over the past 2 months. Had a lot of fun, but Jesus, I went through some of the worst pain from being in the fight to this tattoo to all the delayed flights. It feels like everything is a blur, you know?
Yeah, let's wrap it up then. Yeah, tell me what you're working on. Tell me briefly, and then we'll get out of here.
All right. I guess right now what I'm really working on is more my content. Like what I want to do is, I feel like there's a bit of stagnancy in my content right now. You know, like I love skits and I love educational content, but I want to kind of take that to a different degree. Like I did a lot of the NFT MZ for a while, like the gossip thing that I was doing, and I want to take that and kind of make it to where I do different elements of like getting the news and also making it like easier to digest, because I see people with like market updates and like fun little, you know, Bold Leonidas does his, you know, sketches, Beeple does his. I want to do something like that, but a little different. So I'm still kind of working on some things like that. Me and Blonde are going to be doing our podcast. I'm not going to leak the name yet, but we're going to be starting that soon. And then I am basically going to be working on some content with some companies. You know, I ended up working with, you know, Unfuck. I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm going to be working with them and a few other companies. And really, I'm kind of on my content era. You know, that's like... eventually I'm going to start training again, maybe in the next few months, but my next fight is going to probably be not until, well, late in next year, because I've got a lot to learn, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, it's just content heavy. I'm really working on my in real life content. My biggest dream is probably to do like a travel based show where I'm like doing the kind of stuff that I was telling you about, and you know, doing like podcast stuff, because like I like to talk, as you can see. So but that's kind of where I'm at next.
Okay. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for sharing those stories.
Yeah, thank
And
you
I'll
for
look forward-
listening.
Yeah, it was great. I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, same.
And we'll be looking out for your content.
Hell yeah.
All right.